And as usually, there's a great announcer from ESPN named Mike Patrick who would say the great phrase, "It is great. It is good to have you with us. Good to have you with us back on this channel. Thanks for hanging out with us as we are going through the holidays. And matter of fact, happy holidays to everybody, and also happy New Year coming toward. Who knows when this episode's going to come out? But this episode is very important with a lot of the news that's going around for maybe what might be the next big evil empire. Before I do that, I kind of upgraded. Roll the intro. And as always, you guys tune in with this. And as always, when you come down and you hang out with here at JJ Sessions, we always do these type of talks as we always do. And as always, you love all this stuff and you're putting up with my dorkiness. Please hit that like and subscribe. You find out when there's new episodes, and we putting a lot of different stuff out there, and that's what we would like to do. And coming in 2024, we are going to be having those podcasts coming up. Until then, as you can tell, I've upgraded. I'm Beyonce. I've upgraded, so you don't have to no longer worry about a blank wall. I can finally show off a jersey or two here, there, and then there's that thing up there, and who knows? I don't know what I'll do about there, but I had these things for years, and I'd never used these, and I should have. And I was kind of scared I was going to rip the wall apart. They only took like a minute to put together or something. Anyway, let's go to the video. So, what the heck am I talking about this time? Well, I had one video where I was wearing LA Kings gear, and I've got LA Kings stuff in here, and I know I did a video a while back about the Chargers and why nobody cares about them. But in a way, news gets out like a wildfire. The LA Dodgers are now going to be the next big, gigantic, evil empire. They have almost $300 million in payroll. And they just put the news out that they just won the Shohei Ohtani sweepstakes. And that thing where he's getting it's 10 years, $700 million. And they're only going to give him $20 million a year. He deferred $20 million a year. And he's going to get the rest of it when he's done. Which he's probably going to retire a Dodger, but it's just people kind of knew he was going to win, and the Dodgers were going to end up with him. I know there was rumors with Toronto and the Giants and whatnot. He was going to be a Dodger. He wants to win. He wants to win. It's that simple. He wasn't winning in Anaheim, and I've said this on occasions. Don't let the Dodgers and the LA Angels of Anaheim mess you up. They need to rebrand and be back to the Anaheim Angels. But God only knows what's going to happen. But there's a difference. The Angels will never, ever have the TV deal and the revenue that the Dodgers have, ever. And also remember, the Angels, that's Orange County's team. That is not LA County's team. They have their own brand. And Shohei Ohtani was not going to win there. It was a nice time for Ohtani to be there, but they weren't winning. Not even when Mike Trout was healthy. It's sad. It really is. So with that in mind, it was more likely the easiest decision for Shohei Ohtani. Be a Dodger. You're going to be the designated DH for the next maybe year and a half, because he just had elbow surgery on his pitching arm. He's going to be back. He's going to pitch probably in a year or two. And they're just going to be another big bat next to Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman and those boys. Then to make things even worse, they just went out and signed that Yamamoto kid from the Nippon League in Japan, and he's only 25. He's got the nastiest pitches you've ever seen. If you do, check YouTube out. Well, you check this channel, but I've seen his slider and his split finger and whatever. It's video game-ish. It's ridiculous, and they just gave him, my God, what did he get? $325 million for what? 12 years? And then to make things worse, they just went and made a trade with Tampa, with the Rays, and got Tyler Glasnow. So now you throw Yamamoto and Glasnow in with the same rotation with Kershaw, and maybe Walker Buehler if he's back to form. And then you've got all those guys. This is a super team. This is legit a super team. This is what the Yankees were 2 decades ago, maybe a decade ago. But everyone's already saying the Dodgers are going to ruin baseball because there's going to be no salary cap. There never has been, and there's already talks about small markets trying to cooperate. They're not. There's never going to be a salary cap. And I'm a Pirates fan. It's never going to happen. It never will happen. The revenue sharing that's from the big markets going to the small markets, and some of those owners don't know what to do with the money. They don't. They're supposed to. Most of that money that they get from the revenue sharing is trying to pay players. It's not trying to. It's not trying to help the other stuff. I've never been a fan of it, but a lot of people aren't a fan of Rob Manfred anyway. I know he's in the last handful of years has made the game a little bit better. Pitch clock, whatever, farm systems. It's not hurt the Dodgers. Their TV network is the biggest television deal, period, in the MLB. It's even bigger than the S Network, bigger than NESN. And remember, the Yankees were running baseball forever with the S Network. They could get anybody they want. Hell, they still can get anybody they want if they want. They just made a deal to get Juan Soto from the Padres. So now you could bark about, oh, the Yankees missed the playoffs. Well, they're going to try to fix that because now with Juan Soto, they got a 3-headed monster with him, Stanton, and Aaron Judge. And Garrett Cole, who has $450 million, former Pirate. The Yankees are still going to be whatever the evil empire, but they missed the playoffs. Boston still tries to do whatever they can on their end. They missed the playoffs because they're still technically in rebuild. But here is the Dodgers now, officially now, with the biggest payroll in baseball, close to $300 million, $285 million exact. Next is the Mets, then the Yankees, then the Phillies, and then the Braves. Then there's just a handful of others down all through the mix, and you are nowhere anywhere close to those big. You know who else is up there is Houston, and you can sit there and say about the cheating scandal. I'm over that already because I still believe the hardest thing in all sports is to hit a baseball, and I don't give a care what anyone says. Jose Altuve hit that slider off Aroldis Chapman, and it hit the freaking train. You can bang trash cans all you want. It's hard to hit a baseball. But the Astros have been kind of running the AL a little bit. But it just depends. The Texas Rangers were that team to knock them off, and the Rangers ended up winning the World Series. It may have been a low-rated World Series, but fortunately enough, that's a big market. Texas, I believe, was kind of like 10th or 9th in payroll, but they were in an actual rebuild for a handful of years. But you go out and you spend for at least a guy or two, and they did the things they needed to do, and they won, and they beat the Astros and handily beat Arizona in the World Series, but Arizona was tough. They swept the Dodgers. So you can't say anything about what happened, but that's how baseball is starting to become now, and I don't want to make this a big rant about baseball and all that because this is the Dodgers. The Dodgers are going to run LA. The Dodgers are going to win, and a lot of people are projected they will probably win a World Series or two probably in the next 10 years. Maybe 3. Maybe 4. And it wouldn't surprise me, and it wouldn't surprise a lot of historians, a lot of baseball, like baseball religious people. The over and under for the Dodgers is 101. It's either 101 or 104. The way it's going, I would take the over. Just with that lineup, I would take the over. They're going to win the West, and it's not even going to be close. Arizona will try. The Giants will try. The Padres they were a very, very big disappointment with what they got. That's why they wouldn't let Juan Soto go, because he's so underachieved. And I know the Padres are going to try, and then I'm not even going to talk about the Rockies. The Rockies are a mess. But the Dodgers are never going to go. This is now the evolution that we live in now. The Yankees will always be the Yankees. The Mets still may have to reboot now that Steve Cohen is or whatever his name's. I can't remember his name, but he's the new owner. He wanted to spend, and look where that got him. But the Dodgers are always going to be that team. And unfortunately, I say this, they're probably going to win a handful of World Series because they are actually extremely intelligently ran. It is a very, very well-run organization. Not just because, Magic Johnson's part owner and all this other stuff, and Dave Roberts is the man. They are a very, very well-run. And when they started building those wins, they were getting all those people from the farm system. You can't mess with the Dodgers right now. One of the best ballparks in America in Dodger Stadium at Chavez Ravine, biggest one in MLB. That is a shrine. It's been renovated. It's got new stuff, and just imagine, you pay almost $1 billion for 3 people, but it is enough because you're going to win that division by default. But now there's going to be some people out there going to say, well, don't rely on super teams. What if injuries happen? What if injuries happen? What if somebody just decides that they just made a trade, or they just don't want to play, or they played? First off, I don't want to sit here and spoil everything because I'm a Pirates fan, and the Pirates are like the bottom 10, are like in the bottom third in payroll. Payroll's going to go up for the Pirates this year because they did have an improvement. But the Pirates will never be the Yankees. The Pirates will never be the Dodgers. Pirates will never be the Braves, and the Braves are well run. All these small markets will never ever compete with the Dodgers and getting Shohei Ohtani and all that. But that's what's great about baseball, is because any team could win 2 of 3. You don't even worry about one loss because all you need to do is win series to try to be up there. And small markets will never compete with anybody like the Dodgers. Oakland's moving to Vegas. Smallest market, probably the worst owner, next to the guy who runs Pittsburgh. Kansas City won't be. Look at the bottom. I look at the bottom. Tampa is probably in the bottom third in payroll, but they win games and make the playoffs, and they're getting a new stadium. They're not going anywhere. But all those other small markets are making. Cincinnati had a rise this year. Even Pittsburgh did. They actually won 10 or some more games than they did last year. Miami's a small market, and they made the wild card. But then you got another one. Kansas City won't make it. Washington just won a World Series. Now they're in a clunker. They're trying to regroup and rebuild. You cannot stop what the baseball economy will work for the big markets. There's a big thing. I personally heard this from Colin Cowherd. He's not wrong. When LA is good, when the Dodgers are good, baseball's at its rise. You know what doesn't work for baseball? Tampa goes to the World Series. If Miami or Kansas City or Oakland, Detroit goes to the World Series, I mean, legendary teams, the Tigers might, but small markets, nobody cares. But when they make the playoffs, the fan base blows up a little bit. Tampa's in question because we saw, they had their games in the afternoon and nobody showed up. Yeah, you had them at 1 o'clock on a weekday on a school day. So that's kind of tough. So I'd really love to know what your thought is on the Dodgers intake, because the world of baseball might be doomed. It very well might be doomed. But as I shut this thing down real quick, just remember, you can't really hold tight on super teams. Not all of them work. Golden State is still one, but they're getting old. LeBron had a couple of them. The Yankees definitely had a couple of them. But not all super teams are going to work, especially not in baseball. The season's too long. Injuries happen all the time. You shift people from your farm systems up and down all season. Being a general manager in baseball is hard. It's just extremely hard. You got 4, including the single A clubs down there, and then you got a double, a triple, and then you got the main roster. You got to work with those GMs. It's hard. It's 162 games. There's people that saying that the regular season needs to be cut. If I had it my way, I'd cut the regular season drop it to maybe 100 140. Then you'd have the playoffs early. You could even have maybe more playoff teams in. You're going to expand in a handful of years. I mean, who knows? Does Montreal come back? But none of these other cities, Nashville, Charlotte, Portland, Utah, Orlando, they don't have ballparks. Vegas doesn't have their ballpark yet. This is the world we're going to live in. So, guys, the Dodgers are going to run this Major League Baseball. It is going to run. I don't want to hear this. Well, they start out 10 and 20. Well, until they win 30 of their next 40 to 35, because the chemistry is starting to kick in. And Dodgers are going to run LA next to LeBron and the Lakers. I did a video of this about the Chargers. They're never, ever going to be anything close of relevancy in the city of Los Angeles. It's now officially a Dodger town. LeBron and the Lakers. The two soccer teams are good. The Kings are actually doing very well this year. And USC and UCLA are going to the Big Ten. The Dodgers right now are running LA. And people are for it. This is what you're going to see. Is it a guarantee they're going to win the whole thing next year? It would not be a surprise, but there's only one way you find out, and that's you go through spring training and a very, very, very long season. 162 games is long. It's sometimes too long. So you're a Dodger fan. This is ecstatic for you. If you're a small market fan such as myself, you have to put up with this crap all year. You got to put up with all the people that spend money, like the Yankees and the Mets and the Dodgers and the Braves, even the Phillies. And the Phillies might be the best run team. They may have the best fan base because that building, a park and Citizens Bank, if you've seen that crowd in the playoffs, they're passionate. And I feel for my Philly fans, my Philadelphia friends, that fan base is passionate with Bryce Harper. But the Dodgers, your take, leave a comment. We know this is all about it's all about this great baseball economy that we live in. We don't know what's going to happen with the next CBA. But the Dodgers, they're not doing anything illegal. They're going to try to do their darndest to win and win now. And they just got two of the biggest free agents outside of the U.S., and one of them is probably one of the best, greatest baseball players ever, and he's not even an American. And he's actually a very light human being in Shohei Ohtani. So, guys, you have a take in all this. I really don't have one. It's just, are the Dodgers the next evil empire? Leave a comment. It's not a right or wrong answer. But, guys, I appreciate you hanging out and having a talk with this one. And from this point forward, I'm going to definitely upgrade that wall because I'm very happy that I don't have to have a blank wall anymore. So, get a little bit of a change. And as always, have a comment, subscribe if you want to see more of this content, chuck a like if you definitely like to see more of this stuff. But as always, the bar is closed. I will see you Bloody Legends in 2024. Have a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, whatever. Bar is closed. I will catch you later on the flip side. I'm leaving now. Bye.